Welcome back to 24 Days of Movement and Consciousness Neck. My name is Egwin from Beyond Systems and Scope of Life. Today I'm going to talk to you about the transverse abdominis muscle. It's one of the most important ab muscles actually, and it's often overlooked in our regular day life and also in most fitness applications and fitness trainings. Now, everyone knows about a six-pack. Pretty much everyone does. The six-pack is basically the rectus abdominis muscle and all its different compartments. Then the next layer of muscles, the rectus abdominis is pretty much in the center of my abdomen. Then we have the obliques, the external obliques. Then we have the internal obliques that run from down here back up. And then the deepest layer of the muscles on the side of the rectus, because the rectus is one thick muscle layer in itself. The other and deepest layer is the transverse abdominis muscle that runs all the way from back here around my waist and inserts in the same fascial line where my rectus abdominis is in. Now the fibers of this transverse abdominis muscle, they're actually running sideways, not up and down. Now most people, when they train their abs, they do things like a sit-up or some sort of strengthening exercise with the legs or something like that. And most of those regular exercises, they will engage the rectus abdominis muscle and the hip flexors. What we're gonna do right now is a very subtle exercise to start with. There are many progressions, but don't be fooled by that. For most people, the transverse abdominis is a rather weak muscle. And it's also one of the most important ones on the other hand. Why is that? Because the transverse abdominis muscle is the muscle that is capable of protecting the lumbar spine without putting a problem into your breathing mechanics. If your transverse abdominis muscle works correctly, then it works together with your glutes to stabilize your pelvic position and protects the lumbar spine without having to have a completely solid abdominal wall where breathing, any type of abdominal breathing, can't happen anymore. Abdominal breathing is quite important, and your diaphragm, whenever your diaphragm moves, there should be some sort of movement in your abdomen as well. If you work with your abs, with your rectus abdominis purely, then your diaphragm has a hard time actually to work in agonist-antagonistic way with your abdominal muscles. However, if you use your transverse abdominis, this is a different story, biomechanically speaking, entirely. Now let me jump into the exercise. The exercise is actually quite simple. You're gonna lie on your back, like so, and what we want is we're gonna observe what is happening in my muscles out here. What's happening in my belly muscles? There are two things we want to avoid. One thing is, whenever we do something with our legs, then my spine is being pulled in a curve flexor. So that's one thing we want to avoid. The other thing we want to avoid is whenever we do something with our legs, then our belly gets sort of this triangular shape to the front. This then means that mainly your rectus abdominis is activated, which is exactly what we try to avoid in this exercise. So it looks like this. Lie back on your back. Just rest your hands on your belly. And now try to simply pull the navel as close as possible to your spine, and literally also try to pull in the sides of your body as if you were closing a belt around your body. Leave your hands here so that you have more tactile feedback and you actually
feel this belt, in this case literally the muscular belt, closing, and your navel and all your belly literally being pulled back towards the spine. Now leave your hands here, and from this position just simply try and raise one leg and put it back down without anything happening in your belly, without your belly being pushed upwards like I'm simulating right now. So this is something that we do not want. Also, we do not want this curve in the back. We want the spine to rest comfortably on the ground. Then try this on the other side. Give yourself 10 seconds rest and try this on the other side. Pull your navel back towards your spine. Pull the sides of your belly in. So now you see my whole belly just got extremely narrow. And then try to lift the left leg without any movement in your belly whatsoever. No pushing the belly out while you lift your leg whatsoever. And now, second stage of this, we try this in reverse. You bring your legs up like so, in a posture where both feet are off the ground. Again, we activate the transverse abdominis muscle by pulling it back, and by pulling the navel back towards the spine, and literally by closing this belt around my waist here. And from this posture, one leg stays up here, the other one extends out. And we do not want the spine to leave the ground. We still do not want anything like this to happen, like this. And we still do not want anything like this pushing out of the belly to happen. In this posture, we still want this navel and our whole abdominal wall to be pulled in as much as possible. Again, I'm gonna put my left hand slightly out of the way here, but just rest your hands on the belly so that you have more tactile feedback. And what we want from here is just simply extend one leg out, but make sure that your belly is still pulled in and does not push out. Now, when I show it on this side, now it's probably better to see. This would be me pushing my belly out. What I try to pull it in and leave it pulled in as much as possible when I extend my leg. And you'll see, suddenly you work with completely different muscles that you most likely never activated consciously before in your life. That's very welcome. This is the transverse abdominis now that is stabilizing the movement. Do this exercise to gently build up strength in the transverse abdominis. Maybe within the next couple of weeks, I'll show you some more progressive exercises to build strength in this muscle even more. And then eventually help you to integrate it in a functional and sustainable manner in your whole movement pattern. Alright, have a wonderful time. If you liked the video, like, share and subscribe subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. I'm really absolutely thrilled about these conscious and movement snacks. It's really fun to do them, and I think you guys, you have some benefit out of this. If you have questions, leave them in the comment box below, and I'll make sure to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Bye.